Hey yo, what's going on guys? Snip Dobbs here from the Platinum Penthouse, and today I'm bringing another NBA 2K14 video on the PS4. And in this video guys, I'll be talking about the two new developments we learned yesterday for 2K15 news. Firstly being the trailer, and secondly, 5 players got their brand new 2K15 ratings. So let's get right to it. So if you guys haven't checked out the brand new trailer already, the link's in the description below, go check it out. It's like a minute 30 seconds long. I did enjoy it. It's actually quite funny. So hopefully you guys get a laugh out of it. But you know, you look at it gameplay wise, you might not see anything too different other than the graphics. But you know, I looked at it a good 3-4 times, and basing off the 2K stream info that I get, you know, watch the streams guys. You guys got any free time on like Tuesday 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, go check them out. They also give away locker codes. Even though they're not really going to be too effective for much longer. But anyways, yeah, it's still, you get a lot of 2K15 news, and I'm trying to get as much news as I can to upload for you guys, and also just to know for my knowledge. Yeah, so getting back to the point, guys, I'm going to make the assumption that like tendencies and stuff is going to be really focused on for 2K15, and my reasoning why is because if you saw in the trailer, the Legend trailer, Shaq shoots a 3-pointer and completely misses, and then throws an errant pass out of bounds. And you know, obviously in 2K14 centers, unless they're like stretch fives or whatever, they wouldn't really be making 3-pointers too much or making cross-court passes unless they're Kevin Love. But the thing is that I'm noticing off the Yakum trailer too, you know, like charges, like how you can go around charges is like a new a charge mechanic. I'm also going to be like thinking like, you know, diving on the, they were talking about like when players dive on the floor for loose balls, how like a player like Dwight Howard would basically dive on the floor at the same time as like Kyle Lowry. And you don't really see Dwight Howard diving out of bounds or anything like that, but you would see a player like Kyle Lowry more do that. So I think like that's going to be a tendency of like players that will be able to do that, because you know, you could go out of bounds with the center at the same speed as like a point guard, right? And that wouldn't make too much sense. So what I'm also thinking is like in the park too, right? Going back to like shooting 3-pointers and throwing passes across the court. Like you see centers doing that all the time. It doesn't even matter if they got a good jump shot, then they're good to go with like a 3-point rating of 60. I know from my center that like the 3-point rating doesn't really matter on the park. Like you could still make threes if you have a solid jump shot. So I think tendencies are going to be a little bit more focused on this year. So like, you know, if a player's more dominant in the post and has a good mid-range game, but you know, just say their dribbling's not that good, I think that tendency is going to be really focused on this year. But again, this is all assumption. I can't really say anything for sure. But you know, just basing off the info, how like they said, like players like point guards are going to be more lenient to dive on the floor. More towards a center doing it. So I would love to see that too. You know, it would take not really cheese, but more realistic. And anytime a game's more realistic, it's only a positive. So also, we're gonna go to the ratings now. Enough talking about the my assumptions here. We got 5 players that got their ratings the other day, and it was Rudy Gobert, Shane Larkin, Kendall Marshall, Ben McLemore, and Joel Embiid. So I also got to talk about, before I give away the ratings, is that, you know, how we learned the other week how only 4 players will have a 90+ overall rating. You know, KD's already got the 95 rating. I'm guessing LeBron's going to be like a 96, 97. And what I can make an assumption out of that as well, because they've also gave the lower ratings like Bruno Caboclo and stuff, Solomon Hill and stuff like that, right? They're around like 64 overall. So I can't really, like, these ratings that I have right in front of me, I can't really make like, oh, that's too high for them or that's too low for them, because this is all a new rating system, right? LeBron's going down from a 99, obviously. KD's only a 95, so maybe these ratings are actually pretty high for them. I don't know. So here's the ratings, guys. Rudy Gobert is going to be a 71 overall. Shane Larkin's going to be a 72 overall. Kendall Marshall's going to be a 74 overall. Ben McLemore's also going to be a 74 overall. And Joel Embiid's going to be a 77 overall. So when I first heard these ratings, I'm thinking kind of like a scale in my head. I'm like, alright, Kevin Durant, 95 overall, more of the high-end players. Right, you got Bruno Caboclo, 64 overall. Solomon Hill, like 66, 67 overall. They're more the low-end players. And then you got the middle class. And I'm thinking, you know, Shane Larkin, Kendall Marshall, Ben McLemore, Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gobert is really more towards the lower end. Larkin's also kind of there too. Then you got Marshall and Macklemore. They're like almost middle class, but not there just yet. And then Joel Embiid, I'd say is middle class right now. You know, he's a top 3 pick in one of the most stacked draft classes, and his potential's got to be off the charts. So 77, good rating for him. So I'm thinking, you know, you also got Drummond, who also got the rating, and 83 overall. So now I'm thinking like Drummond's game, you know, offensively, mostly putbacks, alley-oops, offensive rebounds, even though if he develops a post game, I'm telling you, one of the most dominant centers in the league he will be. I'm saying that as a DeMarcus Cousins fan, alright? DeMarcus Cousins, in my opinion, best center in the league right now. But if Drummond develops a post game, I'm saying that he's going to be up there in competition. But, you know, that's for another video, that's for sure. So defensively, though, one of the best rebounders in the league already. He's not like an elite shot blocker, but he does tend to get like a few blocks here and there. I think he averages like 1.5 blocks or something like that. Anyways, now I look at the players that they gave ratings for. Kendall Marshall, he averaged like, I think he was top 5 in assists last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's a 74 overall. He doesn't really have any offensive game other than that. His defense is kind of weak, so 74. Okay, pretty good. Ben McLemore. I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, right? So I'm judging 74 overall. I didn't see much last year until the end of the season. Missed a lot of open three-pointers. Didn't really take it to the rack too much. Defense was lackluster at times. I thought 74 might have been a little too much for him, to be honest, after what I saw last year. Hopefully he does pick it up. So Shane Larkin, don't really know much about him, but I'm guessing 72 is pretty good. Gobert, he's a pretty good rebounder, shot blocker, but no offensive game whatsoever. So 71, I'd say, is a good rating for him. Got Joel Embiid, 77. You see him in college, pretty dominant. He hasn't done anything yet in the NBA, obviously. He's not going to be probably playing this year, maybe towards like the end of the season. So 77, pretty good rating for him. So, you know, you think of players like Carmelo, right? Or James Harden, actually, is a better example. Offensively, one of the best in the league. Defensively, one of the worst in the league. And you compare him to a player like Paul George, who's not offensively like amazing, but his defense is outstanding, and that's what makes him a better player, because he's a better overall player. But yeah, that basically wraps up the video, guys. You guys like this video, please leave a like rating. You guys want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, Snip Dobbs, signing out.